What's good? What's good? What's good? Welcome back, people. Sorry for the delay. That was a mix-up in communication. Hopefully, the defensive staff that we've assembled don't do what we did today, and they keep all their communication in good standings. But that was a mix-up in communication. So you're only getting us two today, me and Chris, just joking, and we're gonna take you through 9 interior defensive linemen. Chris, you got summoned away yesterday by the Queens. You was good. They ain't beat you up for being late to come downstairs.
No, they were. Well, one of them had to pee, so she was like, "Why did he take so long to open the door?"
But yeah, that's good that you got to spend that time with them and they good. But we're gonna go through these 9 draft guys and see what you think about them and what I think about them, and we'll start right here since we already kind of late. We'll go ahead and start. What's up? Let me say what's up. Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Real quick, real quick. Urban, Ghost. Let's see who else. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? C Iron, appreciate it. Zeke, Ravenville. Big Reg, what's good? Neuropsych, glaucoma. I, Shelly. I ain't play your music today, Shelly. You couldn't twerk it today. I ain't play your music today. Donovan, Nana. Let's see who else. Who else? Who else? Chris. Big Chris, Lit Chris. Which one this is? She said she Big Chris. You Lit Chris. Who else we got? Who else? Who else? Who else? Paradox, Travinsky, DDSQ was good. Stretch, Ray Jack, Darren. We almost at the bottom. Michael and Cam. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Hey, we gonna make it happen. I'm gonna make it happen tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Thursday? Yeah, I'll make it happen tomorrow. I got something that we can do on my regular feed. We'll make it happen tomorrow. We'll definitely make that happen. What's good, y'all? What's good? What up? What up? What up? What up? So as you come in, you'll notice when you speak, if you hit one of those keywords, you get a message back to you. Like this one right here. It says, hey coach. Well, not shouldn't say hey coach. Just say hey coach. We shouldn't say hey coach, but I fixed that. But it's really you're supposed to say your name and you come on in and get yourself something to sip on. But I'll make sure I fix that. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh no, it's acting right. There you go. It's acting right. There you go. There we go. It's doing what it needs to do. It's doing what it needs to do. That way, once we get started and people come in, I don't have to break what we're doing to speak. So, but let's go ahead and get this thing fired up. Let's switch scene. Where Chris go? Oh, there you go. And so we're gonna start with not this dude. We're gonna start with Christian Miller, and I'll give you some info on Christian that I have here, and then I'll let you say what you saw on tape from him. Christian Miller, interior defensive lineman, number 52 from Georgia. Let me hit play. Oh, did I hit play? And it's just not playing. Oh, well, maybe not. I know what's wrong with that. I clicked the wrong button. But anyway, 2022, he had 45 snaps with a 61.2 run grade and a 67.1 pass rush grade. In 2029, he had 209 snaps, 71 run D, 65.6 pass rush. In 2024, 385 snaps, 83.9 run grade, and a 70.7 pass grade. And then last year, 437 snaps, a 90 run defense grade, and a 70 pass defense grade. Out of all interior defensive tackles, he was 8th in defensive run grade with 84.5, 63rd in pressures with 19, 2 hits and 17 hurries. Second in run grade defense with a 90.2, 81st in tackles with 20, 39th in pass rush grade with 70, 39th in true pass set grade with 71.7, 24th in true pass set win percentage with 17.6. And then 47th in true pass set pressures with 12. With Christian Miller, what did you see on tape from Christian, Chris?
First, I got a question. Is the tape supposed to be rolling?
No, it do, but it don't.
Okay.
Instead of clicking my video, I clicked one clip. So
got you. Okay, just wanted to check.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing you see with Miller is just violence in the run game. Like he just destroys blocks when it comes to the run game. And this is a powerful dude. And I had to go back and look and see how much he weighed, because the level of stoutness that he has, he easily looks like he could be 325, 330. And then you go and
Mhm.
look at his listed weight and you see 310, 305 in some places. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right. Like, I want to see what he comes in and weighs in at the combine, because this
Mhm.
dude is stout, he's powerful, he moves very well for a man who, well, what I think is his size, because I don't think he's 310. Uh, but I think he moves well, and I think you see that flexibility just in his stance. The way
Mhm.
the dexterity in his legs when he gets into his stance, you can tell that that's an athlete lining up. It's not just a big dude who was forced to play football. He was like, this dude is an athlete who has some flexibility in his lower body, and that's what you like to see, because there could be some untapped potential when it comes to developing as a pass rusher. And I think that's what's really going to make or break his time in the NFL. Is he just going to be a run stuffer, or is he going to be a run stuffer who can develop into someone who can be able to rush on pass downs?
Mhm.
And that's yet to be seen, but I think that there is some flexibility and some athleticism there where you can tap into that pass rushing production on his side.
And what I saw from as my notes ago, he uses his length to stop defenders from getting close to him. So the offensive linemen never get that perfect hands inside, arms, shoulders bent on him, because he always pressing them out. So he does a
Mhm.
good job of using his length to keep guys off of him. Any little space in the double team, he gonna split it. If you don't get hip to hip and you give him a any kind of green, he gonna split it. He does a good job of taking a knee or grabbing grass and turning that shoulder and getting upfield. Extremely violent hands from what I saw. What's that? Presses the guard out and finds the ball. Teach tape with his press and peak. Bull rush versus guards is better than versus centers. And why I put that in there, because head up bull rush wasn't great. But when he
Mhm.
get the angle and he can kind of take on half the man, that was a lot better with just with this bull rush. And I ain't see a lot of tools in his pass rush bag, but he just strong as a damn ox. And
Yeah.
then average pass rusher, no move stand out is the last note I got. But as far as high motor, yes. Run stopper, yes. And if you're not technically sound up front, he gonna kick you butt. That's what most Georgia defensive linemen do. If you're not technically sound up front and you ain't as strong as a tree trunk, they gonna find ways to whoop you,
Yep.
which is a good thing. And I hate that I didn't get the well. I picked the wrong thing, but if you guys go back and watch it, or if you go to Morsip Italian and watch the video I did on him, you'll see all this stuff that Chris and I just talked about with Christian Miller. All right, go to the next guy. Let's see. I hope the next guy's the one on our list. Yo, yeah, it is. All right. So this one is hopefully this act right. I can tell if it's acting right. Guess this one won't play either. So it's what's called. It ain't me. I thought it was. It ain't me.
Streamline
Yeah. It's
or
actually this
StreamYard?
StreamYard. Yeah.
StreamYard.
I thought it was the what's called. Hold on. Let me try something. Remove. Add. Oh well, let's go ahead. We ain't gonna hold the people up too much. Dante Corleone, or Corleone, however you want to say it. He's number 2, 6'1", interior defensive lineman from Cincinnati? From Cincinnati, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
Cincinnati.
2022, 328 snaps. Run grade in 2022. The first year he played was 94.7, which is crazy. And his pass rush grade was 82.5. But no, it don't stay there the rest of his freshman year was numerically his best year. 2023, 444 snaps with an 80 run grade with a 79 pass grade. 2024, 445 snaps with a 71.8 run grade and a 70 pass grade. In 2025, 352 snaps with a 80.9 run grade and a 59.5 pass grade. That you take the floor on Corleone or Corleone, however you say it. I feel like he should have been Italian with that last name.
Yeah, they call him the Godfather because of that last name. But this was a guy who I watched him last year, and I thought he was a definite to go into the draft last year, and he decided to go back to Cincinnati. This he's a Cincinnati kid, got ties
Mm-hmm.
there, so he wanted to go back and keep being a college student, and I don't blame him for that. If they're gonna pay you the big bucks, go right ahead and do that. So, but this year he kind of had I don't want to say a disappointing year, but it wasn't as good as his 2024 season. And
Mm-hmm.
you watch him play this year, and you see a little bit extra weight on him, a little bit sloppy in the way that he looks. But when you do some digging, you find out that he had actually had blood clots over the
Mm-hmm.
summer, and that I don't want to say that that's the reason, but if you ever know somebody who's going through that, you have dietary restrictions and you have to get on all types of medications and stuff like that, and that could take a toll on your body. And I think we saw that this season. And even so, he did take a little bit of dip physically. Like, he didn't look as explosive. He didn't look like he was in as good of shape as he was in 2024. But even in saying that, he was still kicking ass in the run game. He
Always.
was he was still looking fast coming off the ball. Not as fast as he was in 2024, but he was still quick coming off of the ball for somebody who's maybe 340. I think he might have been playing at.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm intrigued by him. I think this is a guy who we didn't see the best of him this past season, and I think you'll get that discount with him this year because the tape wasn't as strong as it was in 2024. But this dude, he can rush the passer. He's athletic as hell for a guy that is this big. And I think he's somebody who can come in and definitely take some snaps early on and eventually turn into like a Michael Pierce type. Because
Yeah.
I think people don't really remember, but when Michael Pierce came into the league, he was not just a big, lumbering dude. He was an athletic cat with great feet. And
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Williams was the run plugging guy, and Michael Pierce was the guy who kind of had a little bit of wiggle to his game. And I think Corleone, he can be that kind of guy early on who can be that nose tackle but provide
Yeah.
a little bit of wiggle and a little bit of athleticism for somebody that's that big.
What I got for him, versus pass, bull rush or nothing. That's what I got pass rush wise. And the bull rush ain't the greatest. He
Mhm.
showed violent hands and pass rush, but they were not consistent at all. And then the next line said, and I got it in all caps, totally different player versus the run. Totally different. You can't move him at nose tackle. Even the double team's barely moving. Very violent and run, stack and press, peak and attack. I played a little offense. If the video would have played right, you would have seen him playing some tight end like Ricard and a little fullback. I had two clips of that on there, and I think he's a first and second down defensive lineman. You'll get him out on pass rush downs unless he develops some pass rush moves. But as far as your traditional run downs, he's stout. He's stout in there,
Yeah, little
and
fire hydrant.
yeah, exactly. Little squatty body, tough to move,
Mhm.
tough to move. And so, I don't think he's like a high pick, but he'll fit a niche in somebody's defense.
Right.
If you got a smaller guy, you might want to bring in on pass rush situations, and you want him in there for your first and second down. I think he'll fit that, and maybe not in year one, and he might can do it in year one, but definitely I think his stick in the NFL going to be a run stopper, and unless he develops some more pass rush moves to go in that toolbox, because all I really saw was bull rush, and if he got you, like if he got leverage on you, you went backwards. But more times than not, he kind of stood up, and then the offensive lineman was able to handle his bull rush. But when it's a run down, shoot, you better run B and C gap because A gap ain't gonna work.
Yep, and with so many teams playing too high, you need these kind of run stuffers. You kind of everything comes back around. It comes back in vogue in the NFL, and you need these big boys who could occupy two different gaps at the same time.
And allow your linebackers to run free because
Hmm.
that's one thing that's really really underrated. And even Ray Lewis talked about it a lot how important Goose and Nada was, to be in front of him to let him be able to do what he needs to do. So and even if somebody get him and he just commands the double team, that leaves and you got good linebackers, that'll free them up to do what they need to do. So it is what it is with Corleone, the Godfather, so to speak. All right, let's move on to guy number 3, and let's see if this works. Okay, now we got a little movement. We got a little action. This is Albert Regis, Texas A&M interior defensive line number 17. 2021, he had 3 snaps with a 62 run grade and 65 pass grade. I don't know how you get a grade like that with 3 snaps, but well, me and you know the PFF stuff. We know the inner workings of it. So in 2022, 271 with a 52.5 run grade, 61.7 pass. 2023, 266 snaps with a 69 run grade, a 53.7 pass grade. 2024, 495 snaps, 78.5 run, 64.1 pass. And then last year, 471 with a 83.1 run grade and a 58 pass grade. And all 5 seasons were at Texas A&M. There was no transferring in or out. He spent all 5 of those seasons at Texas A&M. 22nd in run D grade amongst interior defensive linemen, 34th in defensive stops with 22, 91st in true pass rush snaps, and then 51st in run D tackles with 23. What do you have about Regis? What you saw on tape? What stood out to you?
So with Regis, it's a little bit difficult with Regis because he played that nose tackle role, and for he's going coaches are going to love him. They're going to love that they'll be able to trust that he's going to do what his assignment calls for. My hangups with him is he might be a little bit too small for NFL to play inside in the NFL as far as being a nose tackle. He's 317, he's 6'1", so it's a lack of size, lack of length, lack of height, lack of weight. He is strong, but there are times in double teams in college where you see him get overwhelmed. Right. That's not going to get any better in the NFL when you're facing double teams from NFL offensive linemen. And then ideally, I would like to move him to 3 tech because that's more what his frame suggests. But then I didn't really see much burst. I didn't really see much of a plan from him when it came to pass rush technique or a pass rush plan. Now, is that because he's in nose tackle dirty work mode and he didn't really get doing what the coaches are saying, this is your responsibility, versus when you see a Peter Woods who they let him just, all right, do what you got to do to get to the quarterback. You know, and then I'm not saying that Regis has that type of repertoire because it's 2 different levels, but we didn't get to see him in that role. So, but I do think whatever team does draft him, they're probably going to want to kind of groom him to take on more of a 3 tech role than a nose tackle role.
Case in point right here for what Chris talking about, people. So look at the size difference between Regis and the guard that's right in front of him. Just look at the size difference.
Yeah.
But then once the ball is snapped, all that goes out of the window. Because he takes care of him like they the same size. Long arms him and go. I mean, obviously they fall forward, but still, that offensive lineman don't really block him technically. He just picked the wrong hole. But what I got for him, and the first thing I got is he explodes out that frog stance, but then it's like, what do I do now? Right. And I say when he can't get home, he does bat the ball or make attempts to get the ball down. But I think that's because he knows he's undersized and he probably not going to get there. So I best to get myself in position to be effective some kind of way. So right. I salute that to him. Outstanding pursuit for somebody that's over 310, but you got to be able to run playing defensive line now. The screens and all this different stuff that go on, the Michael Pierces are anomalies. If you got one, Pierce's size and can eat up blockers, that's great. But the guys playing football at that size and that, because Pierce was not of shape, just that big, he can't really move. Like he can't bend like he wants to. Them days are almost over with because Johnny Manziel and Ole Miss had a quarterback like that too. They proved that the days of them over with because Alabama used to stack up on them big offensive line. Remember Tate Cole and all them cats? And then Johnny Manziel and the kid from Ole Miss, the Kelly kid from Ole Miss, they used to run them boys left and right, left and right, left and right. Then when they got tired, that stuff. Yeah. Saban wanted to outlaw up tempo stuff because he couldn't get it done. But the only really thing I have for him is once he does get off, he really don't have a plan to get there. He's just trying to figure it out and trying to. Now when he does win, he wins with quickness mostly, and that's tough to do in the tackle box. You'll see him like he'll pop cross over some gats and keep going, but in the NFL, all they gotta do is get one hand on you, and that shit over with. So he got ways to go, and he does. I saw somebody mention it earlier. He does kind of remind me of Peoples.
Peoples was a little bit more explosive.
All right, let's see, because I got one on this thing. Let's see if this wraps one up. Yeah, I mean, I'm still good. I'm still good. All right. Now let's see if the video play. Don't look like it's gonna play. Don't look like it's gonna play. All right, Lee Hunter, 6'4", 330-pound interior defensive lineman from Texas Tech. Started at UCF, 212 snaps, 72.4 run game, 60.4 rush. 2023, 577 snaps, 76.9 run, 69 rush. 2024, his last season at UCF, 522 snaps, 74.5 run D and 70. Run D and 70 pass rush. And then last year he transferred to Texas Tech. Texas Tech started buying everybody. And he went to Texas Tech, and you'd think going from UCF to Texas Tech, he would have his film and his stats would have been worse because he went up in level. No, this son went to Texas Tech and went stupid. 523 snaps with a 84.5 run grade and a 72 pass rush grade. 69 in snaps with 523. 8th in run defense grade, 84.5. 33rd pass rush grade, 72.1. 25th in true pass set win rate with 17.5. 11th in defensive grade overall with 80.9. 36th in tackles with 69.9, and then 30th with pressures with 26. He had 2 sacks, 5 hits, and 19 hurries. What did you see out of Lee Hunter on tape?
So Lee Hunter, he's one of my favorites in the D-line class. He's somebody who was not on my radar at all, and he actually started watching him because of David Bailey. And then I just keep seeing make plays. I'm like, where the hell did this dude come from? And I did a little bit of digging, and former 4-star recruit, had all the schools wanted him. He was coming out from Alabama, where he grew up, actually from Mobile, and decided to go to Auburn. Then they fired Gus Malzahn, and then he followed Malzahn to UCF. So that's how he ended up there. And then, like you said, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, they was like, Brinks truck, every defensive player, bring the Brinks truck. And it was money well
going.
spent.
I'm gonna take my headphones off. I think I know what's wrong. Keep going.
All right. So Lee Hunter, disruptive in all facets of the game, displaying violence. He's like a Tasmanian devil type, and just relentless tenacity. Always fighting the hands. Really sweet feet for a big man. Has pass rush upside, but I think he needs to refine his technique a little bit. He's real fun to watch. Very squatty build, like we've seen with other players. But the difference between his squatty build and someone like Corleone or Regis is that he has the long arms to go with it. He can keep defenders at bay. Very violent with his rips. He's very fun to watch, just in all facets, whether it's rushing the passer, playing the run. He was really a delight to watch, and probably my favorite defensive lineman.
I mean, figured it out. So this I figured it out. So you what it was, the flash drive that I had those videos on that wouldn't play, I had took it out.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what it was. I remember. So now there's Lee Hunter.
Yeah,
but he, like you said, he one of my favorites as well. Again, I got for him, if you don't fit the double team right, he'll split it. He also does a good job of making the doubles 1v1 blocks. And so what that means is when 2 guys go to block him, he'll just like turn his back to one of the guys and then make it a one-on-one block. And then when that other guy be like, okay, I'm gonna go to second level, he'll get rid of that first guy and go on do whatever he needs to do. And he's really violent. I got elite run defender, excellent snatch and grab, short area quickness for a guy that's 330 is really good as well. Wins pass rush reps with pure power and no signature moves, but he just make it work. I don't think he like got no move that like a go-to move. He just get in there and make it work. And he is he was one of the, like we was talking before we got on here. He was one of the guys, like, because I didn't know much about him, and I was really impressed with what I saw from Lee Hunter. He's a guy. He's a guy. Let me
for sure.
let me go.
I think
Go ahead.
I think we would hear a lot more of him if he wasn't a fifth-year senior. I think this is a guy who can line up at nose, and then on pass rush downs, he could, you could do so much creative stuff with him, just because of the versatility that he has whether it's playing a run or rushing the passer, because he's just, like I said, he's just like a Tasmanian devil.
Agreed. Hey, for those, like, I know you probably need y'all probably want a bigger sample size of him. Please go find it. The kid plays some football, man. And, like, he really good, really good. All right. So now we got one problem down. Let's see if we can keep going. Next one on the list. So I know this ain't gonna play. I hope. Let's see. Why Lee Hunter back up there? Remove Lee Hunter. There we go. So this one playing. All right. The next dude on our list is Zane Durant. 6'1", 287-pound interior defensive lineman from Penn State. 2022, 170 snaps, 65 run grade, 70 pass. 2023, all 4 years at Penn State as well. 327, 77 run grade, 66 pass grade. 2024, 658 snaps, 70 run, 66 pass. And then 2025, 476 with a 61 run grade and a 64 pass grade. 76 in pass rush with 64. And every time I give numbers on them, keep in mind it's just interior defensive linemen. It's not the edges, it's not the linebackers. It's just the interior defensive linemen. 63rd with 19 total pressures, 58 with 14 hurries, 56 true pass set grade with 69.3, and then 14th in true pass set pressures with 18. Zane Durant, did you like him or did you dislike him, Chris?
I like him a lot for a specific role. If you want, and it's somebody mentioned Peoples earlier when we were talking about Albert Regis, and to me, this is more of a Peoples type of role. That Zane Durant is. He's explosive coming out of his stance. Has good hand usage when it comes to rushing the passer. He kind of rushes the passer the way edge rushers go about it, and you kind of saw Peoples do that too, where Peoples was one of those guys who just had an arsenal of tools. Now, Zane isn't there with the arsenal of tools yet when it comes to hand fighting, but I think you see the relentless pass rushing upside that he does have, and I think for somebody who, if you're a team that puts a premium on getting to the quarterback, when you watch how a Green Bay typically operates, where they rush up the field, they're not worried about containment or anything like that. They want to play the run on the way to the quarterback. And I think with a player like Zane Durant, he would fit something like that perfectly, because he will bring that pass rushing juice on the inside that so many teams need. And I really do like him, but I'm not sure about the Ravens fit because they already have Peoples. So it's kind of redundant when you take a smaller guy like that to rush on the interior, because you can only have so many of those dudes. I mean,
exactly.
You can only have one of those guys on the team.
Yeah, I agree. And it took me a minute to even like stomach watching a defensive lineman from Penn State, because I was nervous, because if I'm not mistaken, never mind, forget that. This is what I got for Zane Durant. He had four sacks, and none of those sacks I feel like they were like where he just whooped the guy. They were more so coverage sacks when his motor led him to the quarterback. I didn't see on any sack where he just beat a guy and got straight to the quarterback. They were, different things happened, and the quarterback held the ball and tried to find outlets, and he made the sack. So his motor is good, but I just didn't see a dominant pass rush move out of him. And now he got there with spins and jukes and all kind of things, but there was no signature move where he can like, okay, it's third and something, and I got this move I know I'm gonna win with. I didn't see that. Like, and you said it earlier, he just need more in his toolbox. He wins with quickness in the trenches. He has great short area quickness. I'm not impressed with him versus the run. He gets moved at the point of the attack. But I think the positive for Zane is his versatility. And these are his alignments for 2025. And Chris, this is the stuff that we was doing at PFL. Left defensive tackle, 133. Right defensive tackle, 288. Left end, 4. And this is the crap that made me want to quit. Left end outside, 7. And then you got left outside linebacker, 1. Left end outside and outside linebacker, the same damn thing. And I was getting frustrated with that. But again, left nose tackle, 5, right nose tackle, 28, regular nose tackle, like 0, 14, right end 4, right end outside 5, left right outside linebacker 1. So he played basically all down the defensive line. And the more you can do, the more coaches love you. Even if you don't have like a signature thing, if they can use you as a chess piece to do different things with, they'll find a way to use you and keep you around for a while. So that's to me, that's his best attribute, at the moment.
Mhm.
And that is Zane Durant at 287. Yes, he did catch a stray. I tried not to, but yes, Mike, he did catch a stray. All right, let's see who next. Dominic Orange. Dominic, there we go. So I knew I had to go over
Big
here one time.
citrus.
Dominic Orange. Let's see if his video plays.
Big citrus. Not gonna say what I said in the
Today we're
group
going to
chat.
continue.
Oh, yeah, we go. It playing. So I guess it didn't picked up on what I was doing. All right, Dominic Orange, number 95, 6'4", 328 pounds from Iowa State. 2022, 219 snaps, 65 run D, 58 pass rush. 2023, 442 snaps, 79 run D, 63.4 pass rush. 2024, 367 snaps, 74.4 run D, 69 pass rush. And then last year, 547 snaps, 67.4 run defense, and a 62.8 pass rush. 46 in snaps played, 88th in defensive grade amongst interior defensive linemen with 68.3, 84th in pass rush grade, 44 in quarterback hits, but it was only 3. And like most of the page was 44. So don't take a lot into that number sounding high. Like almost 75% of the page was number 44 because a bunch of people had 3. 87th in defensive stops, and that's a stat I look at a lot when I look at defensive players. That's basically like their individual play stop the progress of the play, whether it be a solo tackle or batted ball or anything. And I love that one that stat from PFL. And a lot I love that one though. And 75 in true pass set grade, and then 25th in true pass set grade win percentage with 17.5. One thing before we get into the actual tape for Dominique, the defensive tackle's academic excellence is parallel to his own field development, earning him all Big 12 honors in 2024 and multiple appearances on the Big 12 Commissioner's Honor Roll. You got a guy that take care of his business in the classroom. But as far as on the field, what'd you see?
I saw an incredibly powerful nose tackle. I think he's still a little rough around the edges, just as far as his pad level, because I think he does play very high. But even so, even with him playing so high, he's still able to generate so much power, and that's impressive as hell. Because we see so many guys lose power the higher and higher they go, and his power just stays there. So imagine if he just played like you see that right there where he stayed under his
he stood up there and went back down.
Yeah, if you just stay, start off low and then just keep raising and pushing, like this dude could be a force. And I to me, like he probably had the most powerful punch in his class. Like just when it came to just clubbing dudes, like hump moves, like he was just powerful. And the amount of force that he's able to generate with in just like a short area. It's probably the most impressive I've seen in this class. Now, he's a big dude, but he's not a slouch when it comes to his athleticism. I think he's more of a linear athlete. Like he's not
Mm.
going to give you like that, sideline to sideline kind of athleticism, but have a lot of wiggle to him. But he will chase down plays going all the way down the line. He'll sideline to sideline. He will chase plays down. He chases plays down the field. He has a nonstop motor, and that's one of the most impressive things about him is for a guy this big, his motor's always going. And
Always.
to be this big and to have that kind of tank to just be able to chase down plays. I mean, we see linebackers having to, get out. So that was very impressive. But I would just like to see more of a plan, uh, refine that technique a little bit because I think right now he's like a Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
Deontay Wilder had that power, but
Hmm.
that technique was all over the place. And I put Big Citrus in that same category where he has a lot of this raw power, but the technique is a little bit all over the place right now.
Yeah, he is so powerful with I would say average to bad technique. I got devastating upper body power that consistently rocks centers back. Like you see them pop their head up when he gets up under him. Like and right there with that guy, like that's a Iowa center. So he coached right, and they can't do nothing with him. He's
Yep.
that strong with subpar technique. Watching him, I immediately thought of a certain NFL player with the same number and similar colors, Chris Jones.
Okay.
And I see if he learns proper technique more consistently, I can see him maybe not being the all pro that Chris Jones is, but being a really good uh, defensive lineman in this league for a long, long time. I got surprising quickness off the snap for his massive frame. It helps him generate power to penetrate and blow up plays in the backfield. Exceptional closing speed for his size. Uh, he also made, and I thought you was gonna say this. That's why I've been kind of let you go first, but you ain't mention it. He was on Feldman's freaks list.
Mm-hmm.
He was on Feldman's freak list, and if you know about Feldman's freak list out there, that list don't really miss. That's I mean the Javon curses of college football, and like they have that kind of athletic ability at whatever position they play, and he don't just have it for skill guys. And you kind of see why he made the list with the way he can move.
Mm-hmm.
Weakness. The first thing I got, and you mentioned it already as well. Pad level rises dangerously high doing pass rush moves. Like he'll stand straight up,
Mm-hmm.
and but sometimes he'll still win. And because he's so big, his lower half flexibility ain't the greatest, so he ain't winning a lot of finesse move reps. It's power, and then maybe a subtle in this power, and then back to power. He, just like that right there, he just took that guard and shoved him into the center. And if it wasn't for the center standing there doing nothing, the guard wouldn't have got back. He bouncing folks around, and so struggles against the double team though. That surprised me. Like as big and as strong as he is, he struggled against the double team. But then that goes back to that standing up and that technique. So
Mm-hmm.
if
Yep.
he has the power, and he just need to get his technique refined. And for those that you play the game on, you play college football, he'd be a what's the raw strength defensive tackle, where you just got to give him finesse moves and you got to add his finesse moves later on. But that
Yeah.
strength costs so much. You best to go take the strength while you got it, and that's
Yep.
what he is. You can teach him that other stuff. He got something you can't teach already, and that's how strong
Right.
he is. So
Exactly.
there's another like Lee Hunt. It's another dude I enjoyed watching. That I didn't know much about.
Yep.
All right, next on the list is the one everybody's been waiting for. I'm through with this one, and I've been telling you, people been telling me to watch this dude for 3 to 4 months, and that is, and this one should work. I did this one today. There you go. All right, Peter Woods. Yeah, like I say, everybody named Mama been saying Peter Woods, Peter Woods, Peter Woods, Peter Woods. Interior defensive lineman. He's number 11 on your screen, 6'3", 310 from Clemson. Funny thing is, um, Name Peter Woods, and I heard Peter Woods, Peter Woods, Peter Woods. I didn't know he was a brother until I went to go do the thumbnail. I just assumed Peter. I didn't know it was a brother, so I went to go do the thumbnail. Even watching the tape, I thought, a tanned fella. Um, until I saw the thumbnail and the headshot, like, oh, that's a brother. But anyway, 2023, 303 snaps with a 88.6 run D grade and a 75.9 pass rush grade in his first action at Clemson. 2024, 400 snaps, 81 run D grade, 74 pass rush. And then 2025, he played 577 snaps. That's a lot for a defensive lineman. 74.3 run D, and then 65.5 pass rush. He was 37th in snaps with 577, 62nd in defensive grade, total defensive grade, 50th in run D grade, 63rd in pass rush grade, 96 with pressures, 3 sacks, 2 hits, 9 hurries, 41st in defensive stops, 32nd in true pass set grade with 74.8, and then 35th in true pass set win percentage with 16. Um, take the floor with Peter Woods, Chris.
Yeah, so Peter Woods, he's a guy who came in, he was pretty much like a consensus top five um all around player in this draft when it came to the big media guys, whether it's Dane Brugler, um, Daniel Jeremiah, um, anybody you want to talk about. Peter Woods was probably in their top five. So when Matabike went down, I was like, all right, let's fire up this defensive tackle. Let's see what we got. And I'm I don't want to say like that he's bad or anything because he's not bad. But you hear about, oh, he didn't give his best effort this season. So I'm like, all right, let me go back to 2024 and see what made him you know, in what put him in so many top fives. And I went back and watched the tape, and I was surprised that Clemson, they lined him up pretty much almost as a defensive end for the whole
Mm-hmm.
season. And he was playing in the 320 range and playing defensive end for them. And I thought he moved well. I thought he was more violent. I thought he was more intentional with his pass rush moves. I was impressed with his tape, and I could see why he would be in people's top fives, especially if you have that projection of moving him inside to three tech, which they did this season. And coming into this season, he was intentional. He came out and he was like, I want to play around 310, 315, and play on the inside more and have more of that, athleticism. And it didn't really display itself that much, like as far as the full season of play, where you want to see somebody who has that top five like reputation. You want to see them dominate week in and week out.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really see that in his tape. Granted, you see him, there's double teams and stuff like that, but if you're the best, you're gonna get double teamed.
Right.
You know, Miles Garrett gets double teamed. He Max Crosby gets double teamed.
Yep.
They're still expected to produce, and at the college level, if
Cafe
you're that
always gets
guy,
double team.
it's not like he has bums on the defensive line either. He has TJ Parker on his line. He has
Mm-hmm.
the other dude, 17, I think it is, on his line, who's I think is a good player too. He's a nose tackle.
You mean
The
19?
Demonte, yeah, 19,
Mm-hmm.
Demonte Caphart, I think it is. Um, and so it's not like he has bums on it. To me, I see good stuff on his tape. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to make it seem like he's a bum because he's not a bum. But if we're talking about a top 10, top 15 pick, that magnifying glass is put a little bit closer on you.
Mm-hmm.
And your every single flaw that you have has to be pointed out. And I do think he has quick twitch
Yep.
as far as being an interior pass rusher. I would like to see him tap into his power more because right now what I see is somebody who still wants to rush the passer as if he's rushing from the outside, as if he's an edge rusher, but
Mm-hmm.
rusher from the inside. when you're a defensive tackle, you got to tap into that. Power needs to be your base.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, it can't be I'm going to be finesse and then sometimes power my way through. Like, no, you need to tap into that power more. I thought he had very active, strong, and quick hands.
Mm-hmm.
Um, did a good job of the hand fighting. The lack of length, I think I we're hearing a lot about length this week. Um, but I do think that shows up on tape when it comes to finishing. You
Mm-hmm.
know, there are a lot of plays where he gets there, but he doesn't
It's one on
finish.
here. Hold on. I think it's this might be it right here. Yeah, that was it right there.
Yeah, and
Quarterback
you
right in
know,
his face, and he don't get it.
and you have to be able to finish. I mean, if you can't finish at the college level, I mean, are we expecting to finish at the pro level where the quarterbacks are bigger, faster, stronger?
Mm-hmm.
And then you do kind of see that dip in intensity, where there are times where it just looks like he's coasting through the game. But then there are high leverage situations where he's like, all right, I got to turn up. And then you see it and you're like, damn, do that the whole game. Do
Exactly.
that. If you're going to be a top 15 pick, you got to do that the whole game. And I don't, I see a good player. I see a player who has the potential to grow into obviously a better player.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm taking somebody in the top 15, I want them to have these base questions answered with how they are, just athletically, physically, mentally. I want these answers. I want the answers to these questions to already be there. I don't want to have to wonder, is this guy going to be able to hold up in the NFL level? Is this guy
Mm-hmm.
going to have what it takes down in and down out to keep that level of intensity? I don't want those questions for a top 15 pick.
At
You
all.
know, and again, this is not to shit on him because I do think he's going to be a good player, but I just don't think he's going to be top. I don't think he's top 15 material in my opinion.
Agreed. And a bunch of those people had him top five. I seen some of those same publications as well. And the remember the top 100 that you put me on to yesterday.
Right?
Do you
Yeah.
know what number he is now in that?
Late 20s,
33.
33. Okay.
Yeah. So Dane Brugler's top 100 prospects. This kid then went from 5 to 33, and I agree with you. I'll quickly go through mine. At
I think
least
he might have. I think he might have been one on Dane's over the
in the
summer.
preseason.
I think he might have been. Yeah.
Mhm. Elite athleticism and strength, natural feel for the game. Now he makes some plays that you like. Did he make that? He'll be in the right B gap and make a play on the left C gap. And I'm like, how did he get there? But then, well, we get to that. Hand usage, and he does when that light is switched, or when he play like, okay, no, I know I got to bring my A game, and he turned the switch on. His hand placement, his movement, his moves to get off of blocks are A1. You just don't see it enough. And then his versatility that you mentioned, he can play any front, as far as I'm concerned, any front. Concerns obviously length in his frame, but the biggest concern to me, and you mentioned it earlier, is consistency. He'll give you one flash play and you be like, "Ooh," and then you won't see that again until like the next drive or the next quarter. And
Right.
you just need more than that if you're gonna spend that high of draft capital on a fella. And then if he don't be consistent, he gonna be find himself doing this fullback stuff that I saw Clemson had him doing. That's what he gonna be doing if he don't find consistency in it. He gonna be turning to Pat Ricard. So the question is, him at 14, I say no. But ain't no chance of getting him at 40, whatever the next number is.
Yeah, I don't think he could go that late. But I'm there. Like 14, the need is there,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see I don't see it for 14. You know, when we're talking about 14, like that is a high pick, and we
That's
shouldn't have
Kyle
those kind
Hamilton.
of questions. Yeah, exactly. So uh, that's a little bit too high for me. Now, if we're mid 20s, like they usually are, then
Mm-hmm.
that's a different story. You
Right.
know, that's a completely different story. But right here, high floor, high ceiling is what I'm looking for at 14.
All right. That is Peter Woods, y'all. So and that was one somebody everybody was really interested to hear what I had to say and what Chris had to say about him. And again, both of us are saying he's not going to be a bad player. I just don't think we don't think he's 14 good enough. Or good enough for 14, which is probably the better way to say that. Agreed.
I agree. Yeah, because
All right.
I don't think he's a bad player at all.
Next up to the stage, little history with Caleb is Caleb Banks. And not a lot of information out there on Caleb. He only played 3 games, but we'll get there. Started at Louisville in 2021 with 9 snaps. I ain't gonna go through that. Second year, he had 38 snaps at Louisville. Then he transferred to UF. At UF, he had 364 snaps in 2023 with a 66.6 run grade and a 74.2 pass. 2024, 422 snaps with a 67.9 run grade and a 73.2 pass grade. And then last year, only 96 snaps with a 68.5 run D and a 64.2 pass rush grade. I will tell you, I think it was a foot injury that he sustained in camp that kept him out of most of his games. He didn't play his first game till like game 3. Then he played the last 2 games versus Florida State and maybe LSU or somebody like maybe Tennessee, whoever it was. But it's 3 games. He was at the Senior Bowl, and I probably should have grabbed some of the Senior Bowl stuff stuck on here, but I didn't. But what did you see out of Caleb Banks?
Yeah, so if you watch the 2025 tape, you just like, what the hell's going on here? Like, who is this dude? Um, because you see somebody playing high, playing a little bit slow, but then you realize that he's coming off of an injury that he probably most likely should have probably just shut it down for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I give him credit. He battled his ass off to get on the field and be out there. And he
Yep.
didn't have to do that, because this is another guy who came in with a lot of top 5 hype as well.
Yep.
A lot of people were excited about him, and he just could have been like, you know what? I don't need to rush back on the field. I don't need to put bad tape out there. I could just rest on that and go to the Senior Bowl and do what I need to do there and make some money. So I
Mm-hmm.
give him credit for battling back and trying to rush back to the field. So I went back to the 2024 tape, and 2024 tape, you see an explosive player. You see a guy who has very, very nimble feet for somebody who's 6'6", 335.
Mm-hmm.
I think he has the pass rush upside, but he just needs the refinement. There isn't a lot of refinement there, but when it comes to the physical and natural skills that you see there, just the physical tools that he has, it's rare stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just spoke about Peter Woods, and I think this guy, when you compare Caleb Banks and Peter Woods, you see Caleb Banks has the rare tools to actually have the higher ceiling, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just see somebody who has NFL body, NFL length, NFL athleticism. Now it's about putting it all together and cultivating that and turning him into the player who he can potentially be with this big ass, big ass mold of athletic clay. And you mentioned Chris Jones a little bit earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And when you watch Chris Jones play, there's a level of I'm just bigger and faster and stronger than you. And with Caleb Banks, you see flashes of that.
Yep.
And I think if you get him in the right defensive line room, if he can stay healthy, I think you can tap into that and you can kind of carve out a Chris Jones type of role. Because I don't want to say Chris Jones, because Chris Jones is probably up there with Aaron Donald as this generation's best defensive tackles in the league.
Mm-hmm.
But that versatility that he has, where he can line up literally all down the line, is some rare shit, and you don't see guys like this every year.
I tell you that just like when I was doing the writing the stuff down and I saw only 96 snaps, I was like, this ain't gonna show me nothing. But I see everything that you talked about there, and I see where he could be Peter Woods, but with the right, well, with the prototypical NFL size. His like this, I think this is his first play right here. This little spin move, this natural spin move, whenever it come up, it's versus LSU. He don't get the tackle, but just the fact that he just spins off so naturally and is where he needs to be. You see him with the little choppy steps to beat people with quickness. This is the play right here. Beat them with quickness and overpower folks with different pass rush moves. So the potential is there. Yes, didn't play much because of the foot. Who knows how that will affect him going forward? But I got sheer size jumps off the screen immediately. 6'6", 330. First step quickness is not what you expect out of him. There's a lot more. He lined up everywhere from nose tackle to wide nine, and heavy hands. Scouting report I have for him for the weaknesses, the pad level high. Ain't much in the toolbox other than that, that natural spin. And then his tackling technique will frustrate coaches because he don't finish. But that could come with, probably not practicing a lot because of the foot. And then only getting 3 games. And the best way to practice tackling is to tackle. And so, that can get better depending on who coaches him, because we saw Sunday, damn Seahawks don't miss tackles. At open field, in tight spaces, whatever. But if he gets with a guy that can well, first of all, stay healthy. If he stay healthy and then gets with a guy that can mold him, like you said earlier, and this is one of the guys that can either prove that you're a excellent coach or get you fired.
Boom bust.
It ain't gonna be much of a gray, boom bust. It ain't gonna be much of a gray area with this cat because you can see the potential there, but potential will get you fired if it ain't realized.
Right.
And he if you draw up an NFL dude, he's what one of them would look like.
Right.
But that foot is scary. But his athleticism is nuts.
And the Senior Bowl was a good first step for him to make it down to the Senior Bowl, show coaches and show GMs that he is healthy and he's ready to go. And it looks like he'll be a full go for the combine too. So that's a step in the right direction for him because this year was rough.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that's gonna show a lot when they do them interviews and stuff at the combine. Like, why'd you come back? And whatever his answer will be, it'll suffice because he actually tried to come back. And and that's probably was some forward thinking by him because NFL people like, well, he didn't even try to come back. He just quit.
Right.
And they try to mind fuck you like that.
You can somebody who that's probably going to happen to, because we know how these NFL teams work, is Gerard McCoy, where he tore his ACL, and there are people like, yeah, he should be coming back anytime soon. Now, Tennessee, their season starts deteriorating, and then you kind of hear those whispers of him not coming back anymore. So NFL teams are going to be like, we heard you were healthy and you were about to come back. Then your team starts losing, and you don't play the whole season. Caleb Banks is going to be the opposite, where Florida was just trash, and he still decided to come back. And even though he probably wasn't ready, because what he put on tape I don't think is who he is.
Right. All right. Lastly, is Christopher McClellan or McKeelan, however you say it. Let's see. Make sure we got no sound in this. There we go. Number 7 on your screen from Missouri, 6'4", 323, interior defensive lineman. Another unexpected delight to watch for me. He's number 7 on your screen. He started off at Florida, where Caleb Banks was. So 269 snaps with a 56 run grade, 53 pass grade. Was at Florida the next year with 295 snaps and 67 run grade and 57 pass grade. Transferred to Mizzou in 2024, 459 snaps, 70 run D, 72 pass rush, both the best that he had in college so far. And then last year, 550 snaps, 75 run grade, which was his best, and then 73.2 pass rush grade, which also was his best. 23rd defensive grade, 45th in run defensive grade, 39th in tackle grade, 27th in pass rush overall, 51st in total pressures with 21. He had 5 sacks, 5 hits, and 11 hurries. 13th in defensive stops with 27, and then 82nd in true pass set win rate with 10.3. Number 7 from Mizzou. What'd you see, Chris?
Yeah, like you said, this was a pleasant surprise. Very active hands, very strong coming off the line of scrimmage. I just thought he was a feisty pass rusher where he just doesn't give offensive linemen a break, where he's
Mm-hmm.
just always fighting the hands, always moving, always doing something. Because usually when you see big guys rush, if that first move doesn't hit, they're just
It's
there.
over.
Yeah. But him,
With.
he just the legs keep churning, the hands are always active, and that was good to see. And right before we started recording, I said a lot of these dudes, man, they have really good motors, and
Hmm.
this is one of those dudes who has a tremendous motor. When you because we're talking about guys who are 320 and up,
Yep.
and
We only had one that was under 310.
yep, and these dudes play with their hair on fire,
Yep.
and it was really really interesting to see. Now, I think for me, I think he could be a really good three tech
Hmm.
if you have him lose some weight because he's stout against the run.
Yep.
I double teams, he was a little wishy washy
Iffy.
because
I
I,
got
I yeah, but I do
that.
see him the same. It's funny how a lot of these guys have some of the same issues, and pad level was one of them for him, where
Hmm.
his pad level was a little bit too high, and you kind of saw that when he had to face double teams. And I think
This
he'd
might be
be a
one right
better
here.
I think he'd be a better three tech, and you just let him hunt, and then he's a guy who can do the dirty work as well. I really do like him, and just the overall game where he can defend the run, he can rush the passer. I think he's going. I think some team is gonna get a really good value with him.
I agree. And one thing I was impressed with because watching some of these guys and their sacks came off for like stunts and different little games. His sacks was I whooped the dude in front of me.
Right.
Yeah, like that's the double team stuff we was talking about. But his sacks was it's a one on one block and I gave you a move and I won. And so I quick first step, especially for 323. Pass rush production was strong. Some publications had him for 6 sacks. PFF had him for 5, so I just went with 5. So that's a lot of production from an interior defensive lineman in college.
Yes.
6 sacks. Because the way the college game set up, it's the way a lot of stuff is quick game, and
Hmm.
the ends don't even get a whole lot of sacks. And you get 6 out of an interior guy, that's
Yep.
great. His run D goes well with his pass rush prowess because he can play the run well enough to stay in the game for all 3 downs. I ain't gonna say he's just this huge stopper, even though he got a bunch of defensive stops, but he can play the run well enough to be a 3 down defensive lineman, and those are the guys that make the big bucks.
Yep.
Like we talked about earlier, like Corleone, we may just be a first and second down lineman. This cat can be all 3 downs.
Yeah.
Again, the concern pad level. But his pad level for me looks like it got higher as the game went on. Like to me, his pad level raised
Mm,
up because of fatigue.
right.
Because early in the games, I didn't really see much of the pad level. But like after a long drive or in the fourth quarter when it's still a game, I could see some of that happening. And mostly it happened in the run game. It's like he was saving himself for pass rush because some double teams he took on, he just took them. He
Yeah.
just let them put it all on him, and he ain't try to fight or nothing. But I, as a overall, I enjoyed watching this tape again. Another one of those pleasant surprise. Motors there, interior pass rush moves are there, effort is there, and then can run from sideline to sideline. Just about everybody we showed you today, for the most part, can run sideline to sideline, even at from anywhere from 310 to like I think 335, 340 was the
Yeah.
highest one we got. So any closing words for McClean, however you say it?
Um. Yeah. I mean, I think this is a dude who can. I mean, we see the best defenses in the NFL have these deep rotations of players that fit this mold of what he is. And I think he's not a guy who's going to come in and be your main interior pass rusher, but this is a
Mhm.
dude that's going to come in and elevate your room. And let's say if you have a Matabike type of defensive tackle, I think this is a guy who can come in and just be relentless too. And when you're getting breathers and not have a Brent Urban come in and take those snaps.
Yeah, I agree. Appreciate what you've done, Herb, but let's get some young, hungry blood in there. It's
Mhm.
gonna not just
A little
hold a
more
place, but
juice,
actually make plays.
right? We need juice.
Yeah, because he just was holding the place. We need some cats in there that's gonna make plays. Because that's part of the reason why we don't get turnovers. Because if we don't get them with the first unit, they ain't gonna happen. Because the mother catchers out there trying not to get beat. They ain't trying to win reps. They're just trying not to lose theirs.
Yep.
All right, so that's what we have for you, folks. We gave you 9 guys. We gave you Christian Miller, Dante Corleone. Christian Miller's from Georgia. Help me remember this, Chris. From Georgia, right?
Yep.
Dante Corleone from Cincinnati. Albert Regis from Texas A&M. Lee Hunter, Texas Tech. Zane Durant, Penn State. Dominic Orange, Iowa State. Peter Woods, Clemson. Caleb Banks, UF. And Chris McClellan, however you say it, is what's this? Missouri.
There you go.
Out of this 9, who would be your one?
That's tough. Because I know my favorite, but I don't know who.
Well, let's go. Who's your favorite then? Because I got a favorite too.
My favorite is Lee Hunter.
Okay,
that's my favorite. But I don't know if he's. I don't know if he's one in this group.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite too.
Yeah,
I don't. One, he may not be one. As much as we talked about Pete might be maybe one. I mean, all these guys pretty good. Christian maybe, but the most fun to watch was Lee.
Yeah,
the most fun to watch was Lee. So that's what we got for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for coming out. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with me and Chris, and it's our fault that we didn't communicate with Mike, so that's on us. But Mike will be back next week, and we'll be doing edge guys. We're gonna bounce, stay on the defensive side. And we're gonna bring you some edge guys, and I might have to double back with Mike and let him say what he needs to say about these cats, because he did his research on them. I don't want him to go unheard and unthought of. So next week episode might be a little bit longer, because I want to hear what Mike has to say about these guys that we watched today, because his input is very vital for me.
And he picked Peter Woods and Caleb Banks too.
Mm-hmm. So. He picked the last 3, whatever the last 3 was, I think. Let me see.
Yeah, that was it. Yep.
Yeah. He picked Peter Woods, Caleb Banks, and Chris McClellan. He picked those guys. So I really want to hear, even if it's just them 3, because he picked them, I want to hear what he got to say about them. So that's what we'll do, edge guys, next week. And don't know what 9 they're going to be. The only one that I know that's going to be done is Bane. So we'll be back.
Two.
Mesidor.
Yeah.
Oh, you're Bane and Mesidor.
Your boys.
So, yeah. I'm picking them.
I already know. I already know.
And but we'll get with y'all next week, and it'll probably go back to Tuesday. But if it's not Tuesday, be on the lookout for it. It'll probably go back to Tuesday next week, because we won't have a roundup show for probably 3 or 4 weeks. So with that being said, man, I'll be on with Sutton and Ryan in about 30 minutes. We're going to put our GM hats on and try to. They say you got them hooked on the app, Chris. Jose said you got him hooked on the GM app. I ain't been on there yet.
Yeah. He was tweeting me the other day. He was showing me who he was giving the boot to.
I hadn't been on there yet. So when we do this together with Sutton and Ryan, it'll be my first time even opening the app or even looking at it to see. I've been seeing people's results on X, but I haven't seen like the actual process of how it works. So with that being said, hey, I appreciate y'all. And we'll see y'all soon in these streets, man. Peace and love. Enjoy the rest of y'all afternoon. Make sure you go over to PRP and Lunch Break Hot. Lunch Break Hot Take starting 15. PRP starting, I think it's Quiet Storm Sports. I don't think it's PRP. Starts at 8:00. So you got plenty of Ravens content to carry you out through the rest of the night, y'all.